But yo, Red Fox, good to have you here, bro. I'm just showing the bracket. You're like the main guy of
Nice.
this event, by the way. You coached a lot of players, which I'm really happy about. I just want to ask a
Yeah.
question. How do you feel that your
Uh-huh.
strategy, the Red Fox strategy that we've talked about a lot, how do you feel that that's performed in the tournaments? Of course, that's the fast castle unique units, kind of like an all-in play. How do you feel that that's performed for the players that have tried it?
Yeah, honestly, I'd say it's performed maybe a little better than I was expecting. I know that most people have lost with it, but I always say it's kind of like swimming and running, and meta's running, anti-meta's swimming. It takes a while to become a good swimmer. So these
Hmm.
folks had, maybe a week, maybe less, maybe a couple days of practice, or like a day of practice for Spiffing Brit.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised that he like lost. That's not a surprise to me, but yeah, I'm really happy. I think Lance, I really like what Lance has been doing with the Bulgarians.
The
I've watched his
Bulgarians.
stream a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really fun to watch.
It's going to be a big underdog story for Mr. Llama today, but let's see if we can pull it off.
And Mr. Llama, I don't think I've watched Mr. Llama play yet.
Okay.
What is his style here?
His style is a lot about cavalry. He doesn't really play towards the all-in rushes. He likes to play mostly with economy. He's actually a very standard player, I would say. Something like think like very vanilla scouts into knights with Franks. It hasn't been the best
Mm,
style of the tournament though, and it's not only due to anti-meta, but it's due to just like the very fast Roman men-at-arm plays that we've seen. We've
yeah.
seen a lot of pressure come through, and Mr. Llama usually dies when he's trying to boom. In fact, he told me, and this is really funny, Mr. Llama's like, the day before the event, the night before the event, he's like, Hera, I need help. I'm always just 3TC booing, and then they come with anything, and I just die. What can I do? And I was like, Llama, relax. You don't have to just die every time. There's a lot of options that you have available. So I tried to help him, but the idea here is that
Yeah.
Llama is trying to boom and trying not to die for him to get like a good setup going.
Okay.
There's a funny comment from the chat. Love that Hera's pretending to like this guy. No, guys, just because I lose to a Phosphor Rush every now and then and I go, oh no, it's Phosphor on the ladder, doesn't mean there's personal beef here, please. And no, Phosphor, I'm very
Yeah,
happy you're
yeah.
joining me. This is fantastic.
No, yeah, Hera's meta. I'm anti-meta. He's the face. I'm the heel. But that behind the scenes in those wrestling matches, they're just they're normal guys to each other. They don't actually dislike each
Yeah.
other. Like if MBL and I got in a room, I'm sure we'd just like I don't know, talk about chess or something.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a big deal at all. But no, actually, Foss, I'm happy you're joining me, and I'm actually loving the work you're doing with the players, coaching them up. And by the way, just like to clear it up, and kind of a question before we hop into this matchup fully. Red Foss, you're not a bad player even without this fast caster shenanigans, right? You're like probably like a 2,000, 2,200 plus player just playing purely standard. Is that correct?
So that is yet to be seen.
Okay.
I think I tried playing meta a little like about a year ago.
Okay.
It's before I had my range or stable bound, which I actually just bound like 2 weeks ago.
That's
So
crazy.
I'm slowly building skirmishers. I'm slowly building crawl. I think I built like a skirmisher for the first time in Age of Empires like 2 days ago.
Oh
So I'm
my
really proud of
God.
that fact.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. He's a 20, what,
Yeah, I don't know if
2,600 rated player? 2,500 play.
yeah, 2600. Yep, 2600 peak. Yeah, first skirmisher.
That's
And I'm very
crazy.
proud of that.
I like Yamato.
I'd
Yamato
still love
Cannon
to
made
get
his
mine,
first
though.
skirmisher, and Yamato Cannon is the worst player I've ever seen. Like, it's fantastic.
Well, you don't need skirmishers. Skirmishers are overrated. You need, siege and monks and
Yeah,
unique units. That's all
unique
you need.
units.
Yep. Anyway, so I really haven't tried, is the short answer. But
Okay.
last time I tried, I got to like 1800, which is
Okay.
well below 2K6. So
Yeah, fair
no,
enough.
I'm mostly an all-in player, I'd say. I'm not
Yeah.
super good at meta. Yeah.
I mean, but what I would say is that I think you got like good skills, like micro macro understanding that would take you
Yes,
to a pretty
yes.
decent player regardless. But anyway, going back to our matchup here, we have the co-caster analysis as well here, or analyzed, let's say. Mr. Llama's rocking the Malay. This is not a civilization that I've seen him play on Redeside Fortress. Pig is going for the trusty Portuguese. I haven't really seen him play it on Redeside Fortress either, but I do know that he's played this a bunch on the ranked ladder. Or at least he's tried it a couple times. And so Portuguese versus Malay is a matchup we're not really seeing too often. In fact, I think it's the first time we've seen Malay for this tournament. I wonder what Mr. Llama's going for here. He's got a few options. It's a good sit for the map. I just wonder what he's seeing in it for himself.
Yeah, this is honestly, I mean, I think of this, I analyze this from like an anti-meta perspective, and it seems really scary to me for the Malay if Portu ever gets to something like Organ Gun Redemption Monk or Bombard Cannon Redemption Monk. I don't know what the Malay would have to play some sort of raiding victory condition, maybe like Siege Ram Elephant from the side and avoid the mass, because they'd never really be able to take that. I guess Bombard Cannons of their own, but Portu, of course, have better Bombard Cannons, so
Yeah.
that sounds kind of scary. And hopefully then Mr. Llama will try some sort of pressure early
Yeah.
to avoid that comp. But yeah, I would be very afraid if I was playing as Malay right now.
Against the Malay or as the Malay or against the Malay?
Sorry, as the Malay. I'd just be
Yeah.
worried about that late game death
Yeah,
ball
yeah.
that the
From
Malay don't
Portuguese.
really have an answer to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always, whenever you're fighting that Civ, you're fearing that.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to give a quick shout out to you, Thermo. Thanks for the raid, man, and GG while playing against H-Rock. And just want to give a quick announcement that we had a color change. So Mr. Llama will be in blue, and Pig is in the red. Just have to change those colors to match the cameras, of course. But yeah, let's talk about the matchup here. So I think Red Frost, you mentioned Portuguese late game being slightly better. You have the really strong gunpowder, especially with the Arquebus technology. It gives ballistic technology, basically, the ability for gunpowder to hit moving targets. It's very, very hard to deal with. Portuguese have also a ton of other options in late game that usually just outclass the Malay. However, I think we're skipping too much of the game just considering the late game. Malay and their biggest strength is actually upping through the ages very quickly. And as Zoa donates 20 subs, very kind of you, man. W Zoa in the chat. Really appreciate the support here for the event. The biggest strength for the Malay is that you just up through the ages faster. And I think that gives you a nice villager advantage and potentially some nice timing windows to really put the pressure and try to catch your opponent off guard.
Absolutely, yeah. If I was in Mr. Llama's shoes right now, I mean, I would not want to get to that late game. I don't want to get to a late game ever, but
Yeah.
definitely not this one. So I would love to play something to the strength of the Malay, which is they have pretty good monks. They're not really missing anything in the castle age, anything important. I think it's like fervor or something, but that's about it. So you could definitely do like a monk siege push on Portu, and they might feel uncomfortable with that, and that might utilize your timings. Now, you said Mr. Llama is more of a sit back and boom and not
Yes.
die type of guy. So yeah. So hopefully he just utilizes that boom. Maybe goes for maybe some fast bombard cannons on the front in the kind of early imp scenario with Malay. That seems maybe like a reasonable approach for him.
Yeah. But do something fast is kind of like your main takeaway here. We saw something interesting. He tried to go for the gold mining upgrade. He canceled it because he needs to afford the blacksmith. It's a bit of an idle economy here, but he's going to bring those in. So Malay have the option to do something fast. I wouldn't mind a little bit of a boom first. So you just go for like a standard 3 TC boom. Then you have for that faster imp. I like the idea of bombard cannon with some trebuchet push down the center. And then following that up with karambits. I like that a lot, actually. So karambits down the center with bombard cannons really fast with that early imp. I think that's a very solid strategy for this level, in my opinion. King's under attack, but I think it's safe now.
Yeah, that seems like a reasonable approach, and hopefully those bombard cannons will be able to kill off whatever organ guns Pig makes, and hopefully he's too slow to his own organ guns to deal with your too slow to his own bombard cannons to deal with your own, and he can play from that position. But yeah, I honestly think this will be a hard fight for Mr. Llama. But
Yeah.
let's see what Pig also has some options too. We haven't really talked about Pig's
true.
options. We just talked about what Mr. Llama can do. I mean, Pig also can go for one of the strongest all-in pushes in the game if he wanted to, with Organ Gun Redemption Monk. That's kind of a comp that pretty much no Civ can answer. It's one of the most powerful pairings that exist in our game. So if he wanted to go on the offense, he definitely could.
Yeah, it does look like he's going to go for the boom instead. And I've actually spoken with Pig. He seems to be very, very set on this map being a purely economic map with maybe an option to pick up relics, but with minimal investment. So he's not really a huge fan of the pushes on this map.
Yeah.
He plays pretty aggressive on some other maps, but here he likes the boom. Going outside here is an interesting choice. I think more commonly we see town centers on the inside of the walls first. But he seems to be liking the 4 town center boom, not just the 3. So a big boom. Here we go. 4 TCs set up for him. And we'll see what Mr. Llama does. But Mr. Llama has a siege workshop. Wait. He's gonna go for Karambit Ram. He's gonna go for a push. He's not booming here. This is crazy.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Basically, he absolutely could catch Pig off guard and could steamroll him with this. I love seeing anytime an underdog goes for an all-in. I love seeing that.
Yeah.
So he absolutely could catch him off guard. The main thing is that if Pig scouts this, he has an answer to both Karambits and Rams, and it comes out of the starting castle that he has. So Organ Guns have, they deal a lot of damage to Rams, and they just absolutely destroy infantry. So if he masses even to like, I'd say even to like 9 Organ Guns, that could be a big problem for Mr. Llama. Push.
And there's another thing that you probably won't really consider in a real pro game, but in this kind of game, Mr. Llama probably is not thinking about Pig's options to counter him. Why? He probably doesn't know much about the Portuguese. Probably doesn't know the numbers and what counters what. And so Mr. Llama will probably just do his push to the best of his ability and won't really consider any counter options. The thing though for Pig is that even if he knows that Organ Guns would be great against this, he can't scout it. It's all happening behind the walls. Like Mr. Llama here, for all Pig knows, Mr. Llama's booming as well. But Mr. Llama is going to save up a huge army. And in my opinion, he should hard commit. It should be like as many Rams as possible. Maybe like 7, maybe 8. All filled with Karambits. Really take your time and go one shot. You have to win the game with this. If it fails, you're vastly far behind. It's a canyon of Vil count that's going to happen in the next 5 minutes, and you're not going to be able to win the game normally. That's kind of my take. I don't know if you see the same vision here, Foss.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, man, look at this. This is prepared. Do you see those 2 petards in the queue? He knows that he has to hit a timing. He knows he doesn't want to get stuffed out by stone walls. He has prepared this. He has practiced this with someone. It wasn't me, I promise. Although this looks like something I'd love to do. But yeah, no, this looks really well executed, honestly. So let's see. I mean, if he can target that castle, that is really pretty much Pig's only answer to this push. So if the castle goes down, Pig is gonna have to do something like fast stone walls, mangonels behind. But that will be really difficult, even for someone as skilled as Pig, to execute. So I really think this could kill Pig right now. But I'm very excited to see. I like that Mr. Llama's doing this, breaking his reputation.
Yeah, like again, we went in this. I was calling him a boomer. Oh my god! Oh my god! He spotted it. He saw it. Wow, that's such a crazy spot.
Oh no! What's his response? Let's watch that cue right now.
He rammed his ass quite literally there.
Responded.
No response. He didn't see the petards, by the way. He did not see the petards. He might think he's got some time for Siege Workshop. He doesn't really have time for that, though. The petards will break the wall. You need some Organ Guns here.
Oh my goodness. Can Mr. Llama get this win? They have a 500 elo difference, but I would rather play Mr. Llama's position from here, but let's see if Mr. Llama can play his position from here. The scout attacking the petards, making me a little nervous. And the fact that the petards are so strung out. The petards are usually supposed to stick close to the rams and the siege. Oh boy.
That's kind of okay though, right? Because I mean, we could see some stone walls behind, but maybe the rams can get the job done here. We'll see what Pig can do. Walls behind, usually the right option. Rams coming in. There's a line of Karambits joining this as well. It's fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, palisade walls. Please, he's got no stone. He's got no stone.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Right click on those palisades. You can do it. Get in and you win. Can he get in?
This is crazy.
He will get in.
He will get in, right?
Yeah.
The ram.
Yep. And all he's got to do is
just
right click on that mangonel. With,
oh my god, that's crazy.
He's
got so many Karambits in there.
Yeah. I think this could kill Pig.
This is insane. This is literally insane. This is the anti-meta strategy that we needed to see from the underdog. He backs away from the ram, though. You need to kill... Sorry, from the mangonel. You have to kill this. He's on the castle as well. This is literal cinema from Mr. Llama. The guy who came in with a reputation to boom is all in pushing. He's killed the castle. Pig, the favorite of the set, is on the back foot. This is crazy.
Now all he has to do is eject, and he'll probably be able to kill those Organ Guns, honestly. He can ram them down too if he knows about the bonus damage, but he probably doesn't even need the rams right now. That's not enough Organ Guns. Yeah, this is panic time for Pig, 100%. Yeah, knights really shouldn't cut it versus 51 karambits. No, 45. But
He's got
that's
45
That's a
karambits.
lot of karambits.
That's insane. And the Ram is still trucking
Yeah.
forward, by the way. He's got one town center down. He's going for the second. There's a few town centers left, a couple of towers. Where's the king? The king is on the right side. Llama could go for it as well. 2 siege workshops defensively for Pig, but the Mangano comes out and the Mangano goes down. There's the king in broad daylight. If Llama goes for it, it's a very good option.
Wow, this is beautiful. I'm so happy Mr. Llama went for this. This is the type of game I love to see. Town centers burning, villagers running, 34 vills on the other side. We don't need no more of those. We just need more militia? Question mark.
We have a militia.
I don't know how those go.
He's adding a militia.
But probably we need more karambits, actually.
He's going for the king.
I love the look of that. Oh
my god. He's going for the king.
Mr. Llama, you
Pig
got
is distracted. Pig is distracted. Pig is distracted. The king is coming out. The Rams are on the tower. The king is coming out. His fat ass is on the front. Mr. Llama is going to king snipe the favorite. A captain is going down. Pig, the king is running. It's in slow motion for some reason. This is crazy.
Oh my goodness. What
Wow.
a beautiful game that was.
Wow.
Mr. Llama, look at that excitement in the camp. You can see
1100.
he is pumped.
1100 elo versus a 1650. That was absolutely disgusting from Mr. Llama. That was one of the best plays of the tournament, and he deserves all the respect in the world. And I just can't believe that his rush was spotted out by Pig, but he committed to it anyways. He brought Pig to deep waters. He just ran through that castle, and Pig must be so surprised right now. Mr. Llama, that was insane. One of the best games of the tournament. That was absolutely epic, and the king snipe on top of that. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Red Foss, these anti-meta strats, man. You're inspiring a new generation here. This is fantastic.
I swear I didn't tell him nothing. It wasn't me. I hope that was Survivalist. I hope Survivalist, because Serv is the other guy who really loves infantry.
Yeah.
I'd say Serv and I are the people maybe at the highest level who love infantry in either siege towers or rams the most. So I hope Serv taught Mr. Llama that strat, because that looked very well rehearsed, very well thought out.
For this tournament specifically, I've known more than ever now that having a plan is probably the most important thing you can have, especially if you're coming in as the underdog, because the plan element kind of makes it so you can always stay on track, and even if you get thrown off a little, you can just get right back to what you were doing earlier. That's kind of what I feel.
Yes, absolutely. And I will just say, I have secret insider information. I know who taught that strategy now to
oh my goodness.
Mr. Llama.
Tell me, who is it?
So it was, I just got a message from my friend Dragonstar, who is another unique player, I'd say. And Dragonstar and I often work on strats for tournaments. And this is Infantry and Ram was originally a strat that I tipped off Dragonstar about. Samurai and Ram, if you've seen the stream from
Yamato,
from
right?
Yamato.
Yeah.
But he adapted it for the Karambits, which I love. So this is a Dragonstar strategy confirmed.
Super cool.
Yeah, so I love to see it. It looked very well prepared, and I love that. I love that strategy.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. I love it's funny how the coaches have played such a big role in this tournament, but remember, the coaches are only as good as the students allow them to be. If you have a student that's like, oh no, I can't do that, it's too hard, oh no, I'm not willing to learn that. Someone like H-Rock who's just, no, I want to play Vikings, Hera, I want to play Vikings, I want to play Vikings. That was H-Rock 2 weeks ago, of course. You can't really get new ideas into them, but Mr. Llama showing he's someone that can learn, try new things, and Dr. Agonstar, as we call him, or Dragonstar.
Yep.
Yeah, great strategy. The Karambit Ram, super solid, pretty easy to execute, and extremely powerful, hard to respond to. So that was amazing. That was very fun to watch, and Mr. Llama pulled it off, man. That was cool.
Yeah, so making our way over to Arabia, we got the Vietnamese versus the Franks. I'd say at our level, we'd definitely say the Vietnamese would have an edge here. In that mid-game, I think what the Franks are probably most afraid of would be either the Cav Archers or even potentially the Fire Lancers, which is a new unit for those who maybe haven't followed Age in a little while. It's a very strong infantry unit that is basically a mix between a longsword and a pike. So very difficult to deal with for the Franks. But yeah, I think maybe some early aggression would be good versus the Vietnamese to get him away from that mid game of Cav Archers and Fire Lancers, which could be a pretty big problem for the Franks. So yeah, I'd love to see. What would you love to see here, Hera? Would it be like a spear skirm forward or something to leverage the Franks' early eco bonus?
Wait, I'll tell you that in a second. I just want to thank Sour Ghost for the $10, as he says, Spiff is slowly activating his master plan by eliminating players via admin mistakes. As Pestily drops out due to an admin mistake and some scheduling error, it's the Spiffing Brit that gets the credit for it. So look at that. Spiffing Brit dropped out of the tournament earlier today. He lost 2-0 and 2-0, but his spirit lives on, it seems, which is very cool. But yeah, back to your question here, Foss. If we talk about Vietnamese versus Franks, so at a high level here, I would actually like to see Vietnamese just play something like Scouts and Spears and just defend and try to wall up, or Spear Skirm, either from home or forward, just to kind of, bother the Franks, kind of survive the feudal, because I think it's really the Vietnamese Castle Age that makes them beat the Franks. You have the Fire Lances that you mentioned, extremely good versus Knights. The Cav Archers as well, with extra HP, very good versus the Knights. So Franks are getting hard counted in the Castle Age, but the Franks also tend to get off to a better feudal age start. So when it comes to this level, though, however, not pro play, I think Pig should do whatever he's comfortable with. If he's comfortable with Men-at-Arms, just go for that. If he wants to just go Spear Skirm, that's also fine. Scouts is good. Whatever it gets you to survive the feudal age is what I want to see from him. He's the better player on paper still, despite what the 1-0, might impact psychologically. If played, standard and whatnot, I think Pig is the better player. So I think he should just play what he's comfortable with, and I feel like that's the best way to go here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what Mr. Llama does here, because I'm hoping there's some crazy all-in that he's developed with the Franks that we can be treated to, or maybe Dragon Star developed with the Franks. But it looks like, just based off click times, there's nothing super crazy going on either side. These are both meta click times. They're, if I was playing on one of these sides, you might see like an FC into throwing Axeman or something, but nothing like that's going to be happening this game. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a scout opening from Mr. Llama, and it looks like it's going to be an archer opening from Pig.
Any Men-at-Arms? Oh no, Men-at-Arms first, and then maybe Archers later.
Oh, Men-at-Arms into Archers. There we go. Yeah.
But that's nice, just putting some pressure early. I guess maybe thinking, hey, let's just go Men-at-Arms, cut out any BS in the early game. It's a very good check all strategy box, like just going Men-at-Arms. If anyone's trying anything sneaky, I think Men-at-Arms is the good way to just put the pressure on them, see what they're doing, and force them to react to you instead of the other way around. And I just want to comment on this. If Mr. Llama prepared something sneaky with the Franks, that would be like Giga Brain 1000 IQ, because he literally played 150 ranked ladder games with Franks, only going Scout Rush opening into Knights, super standard. So if he came out here with something different, that would be cinema. But we are seeing just a standard game after a very nice game one from him, which is okay. No, nothing wrong with a standard game, especially if you're feeling confident, and especially if it's a Civ that you have a good plan on. I like that.
Yeah, Franks are kind of maybe the most typical, like, simple plan Civ, right? Like, for beginners especially, they love Franks because it's, make Scouts in Feudal Age and then get to Castle Age and maybe make some Knights while booming. Like, that is the classic Frank game plan. And I think, at between maybe 1,000 or 1,800 elo, that game plan is incredibly strong, because I think folks aren't really good at, dealing with Knights yet. Many of the counters to Knights are things like monks and like full walls, which maybe those folks haven't mastered yet. And ranged unit control. All these things are difficult for beginners. I really do like that Mr. Llama is has focused on the Franks, because I think it is a really beginner friendly Civ. The only thing that can throw that wrench in the plan is that infantry, especially in the early game. It can be difficult for the scout player to deal with that in a way that doesn't screw up their economy too much. But so far, the walls stuffing them out, it honestly looks pretty good for Mr. Llama.
By the way, what we're seeing now is actually spectacular. This is it might look like a simple defense, and it really is, but it isn't at the same time. These walls have been incredibly hard for some of the other players in the tournament to just do. It looks simple, but just walling short walls close to the town center, keeping yourself safe early, is a beautiful and effective strategy against the Men-at-Arms. And meanwhile, we have a counterattack from Llama. So other players in the tournament have struggled to get that done. Mr. Llama's just done it beautifully, and he now finds himself with the first punch against Pig's economy, unless Pig also gets the walls down. But there's a villager that's exposed out there. Mr. Llama's around. Not going to see it, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, good walls from Pig, although, yeah, Mr. Llama did miss maybe a pick off there on that back villager. Yeah, I really don't think that Mr. Llama, especially with the nice spear positioning on the berries from Pig, I don't think he's gonna find a ton of value here. And this is that kind of, this is a classic problem when you open scouts versus men-at-arms. You allow the men-at-arms to do a lot of work at your base, especially if you counterattack, which is not necessarily the wrong decision. I think that's actually a really smart decision for Mr. Llama. But it does mean that he will have to come back and react to this.
Yeah. Generally speaking there, that counterattack is not meant to kill that many villas. It's just meant to force spear at home, which is actually what he's doing. He forced 2 Pig spears at home. You gotta pull that villager back. He doesn't miss, or he just missed that villager. The pullback was a bit too late, and Mr. Llama loses the villager. Good snipe from Pig. Pig with some decent early aggression here with the men-at-arms and forced a lot of idle time repairing. But Mr. Llama now has the skirmishers, and we're seeing a higher level game here. This is not like an 1100 elo game, or maybe 1200, whatever Mr. Llama's at. This is more like a 1400 plus game at least, maybe even a little higher than this. Mr. Llama with a great reaction. Scouts into scrims is fantastic here.
Yeah, I'm just noticing all these small things that Mr. Llama's doing. Like, I noticed when he took that engage versus, I think it was a men-at-arms earlier.
Yeah.
He microed back his low HP unit. You can definitely see that if Mr. Llama, became more familiar with Age of Empires, he would be a really skilled player. But you can definitely see his focus on the micro. And am I right? Is Mr. Llama a StarCraft player?
Brood War, so like
that's
StarCraft 1.
His name.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, cool. And is he a really skilled micro player as well? Because when I watch his gameplay, it looks pretty solid.
Yeah, I have no idea if he's like a micro player in StarCraft, but all StarCraft players are good at micro just by default. And he's also a Diablo 2 speedrunner. And I don't know about you. Do you know much about speedrunning? But I would consider speedrunners elite gamers, by the way. I have a lot of respect for them.
Oh, yeah. I watched those Mario speedruns from like back in the day, Mario like 64 or whatever, or probably even before that one. But yeah, I love watching speedrunners. Now I like to call them like technical players because they know all the little ins and outs of the game, and I love to honestly I love to tinker with the game in that way. Like, I love to figure out how to make a wolf go attack a villager and try to exploit that for some, on the rank ladder or something. I really respect speedrunners.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, no, it's fun, but I still gotta tinker with that one a little bit.
Yeah, some chatters mentioning it. It's worth mentioning too here that a Mario speedrunner, Simply, I don't know if you guys know him. Very nice guy, by the way. He actually knocked me out 2-0 from the winners bracket in Grubby's tournament. And he was the underdog, so the speedrunners, definitely some solid gamers. And I regularly watch speedruns of 3D Zelda games in my free time. For me, it's very relaxing. I have a few channels that I regularly sort through and just enjoy putting that on a second monitor. But back to our game here, speedrunning aside here, Mr. Llama, scouts and skirms, gaining the map control. Pig is forced behind walls. Pig, one of the favorites of the entire event, definitely the favorite of this match, is actually forced into a lot of TC idle time. Kind of backed into a corner. This is very strange that Mr. Llama is just in the lead like this. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I was about to mention this. No, Mr. Llama's position looks really good. I think I wouldn't prefer to play feudal ever, but I think we'd both say that if we took over from this position, we'd favor Mr. Llama right now. So yeah, I think he's gotten himself into a really good position. Being +6 vills right now. And I guess Pig does have wheelbarrow, of course, that's like +3 vills, so not as big of a difference as it might seem. But still, Mr. Llama has definitely from this early game figured out how to gain an advantage. And yeah, Pig really has been maybe flustered by the first game. Sometimes there's that first game thing where if they do something crazy the first game, it just throws you off for the rest of the games, and you feel your mentals are shook. It's very important, honestly.
Yeah. So like, Mr. Llama's gonna go to the market now. He's got a little bit of inefficiency again, showing that like, okay, well, he's played a good game. He's not a pro player. He's floating some gold, but that's okay. Fix it with the market. It's completely fine. let's get, maybe these villagers are a bit inefficient. These guys can be sent to either this wood line or just make another lumber camp. You could delete a house, make a lumber camp here. You got some options here, but he's going to go for this, the trusty knight follow-up. He's up to castle, slightly slower than Pig. But I did want to talk about that. One of the things that a lot of players in any game really get wrong is that mental aspect. But I think competitive gaming and competitive sports in general, it's like a 50% psychological factor. Like, being able to manage your mentals here, and I'm not saying Pig is shook or anything like that, but in theory he could be, or players could be, but managing your mental from game to game, super, super important here. That's kind of like something that it's very underrated until you're in the hot seat yourself.
Yeah, I don't play in a ton of tournaments, but I see it all the time when I'm watching tournaments. One player gets maybe some cheeky win, or a win maybe they shouldn't have, and then the other player, it's not feels embarrassed by it, but just kind of feels it may be a little tilted. I mean, you could speak to this more probably, although I'd say your mentals are generally pretty strong, but a little tilted, and then it kind of can snowball from there. So I hope Pig is taking a deep breath and realizing he's still the favorite, because that 2 minutes and 50 seconds about idle time is not helping him out. Doing any favors for him in this game so far.
Yeah, game state's about even right now. I would give a slight advantage, maybe like a decent advantage for Mr. Llama. He's on 3 stables, by the way. That's heavy knight production. I want to see that +2 armor come in early. Don't want to forget about that tech. He's going to spam a lot of knights. Pig is going to go crossbow early, so crossbow bodkin on the field. I wonder if we'll see elite skirmisher at all for Mr. Llama. It could be hard to manage both, the knight line and the skirm line. But so far, Pig is actually just moving around, and he's got a villager in his army. This seems intentional. I think he might go for a forward workshop. A forward workshop is not great versus knights, though, to be fair.
Yeah, I really actually don't want to see him place that. His army that he has, that mix of skirms and some crossbow, a good number of crossbow, honestly.
Yeah.
And a couple spearmen, is not really gonna be able to. What is that? We're already on 5 knights on the field. It's not really gonna be able to hold that off with more in queue. We can see 11 knights and 5 on the field with 11 more trying to be made. It's just gonna be cleaned up, I think. Maybe the pikeman upgrade could help Pig out. He does have a good number of spears in that army, but
Llama,
oh my goodness,
siege monk pushing. This is crazy. Siege monk push after a knight. After scouts into scrims into knights, this is really high level from Mr. Llama. He goes back to deal with his forward siege workshop. He scouts it, sees the villager, but is more interested in the army. And like you said, I think this is an easy cleanup for the knights. Mr. Llama might actually sweep Pig here. This is crazy.
I love seeing this. I can tell Dragonstar has been in Mr. Llama's ear, because this is like full aggression, 1 TC play. This is how Dragonstar usually likes to play the game, very aggressive. And yeah, that's going to be a nice cleanup for Mr. Llama.
Yeah, beautiful. Look at the Night Swarm there. I mean, great kiting from Pig. It is worth mentioning that he's not playing a bad game here. He's thinned out a Knight, goes for the second one. All the shots landing on the same Knights to kind of try to get that kill, get those kills confirmed. He kills 1 Knight. It's okay since he's bought so much time. Just as a value trade, that's terrible for Pig. But with that, buying so much time, being in the back of your base, at least you got some time to mass up some new army. But I think now we're seeing, counter units. We're thinking defense. So I think Fire Lancers coming out here is a beautiful response. But Mr. Llama has a real chance here to win the game.
Yeah, the real interesting thing is, I mean, Knights are pretty good at snowballing. So, one of maybe even a more effective unit for Pig right now would actually be monks. That would be, I don't think, if you do not have the correct ball of Fire Lancers, you will not stop these Knights from running amok through your base. So I honestly, he's got the monastery. That's really nice. So yeah, I think he's really honestly gonna have a rough next 5 minutes, keeping these Knights out and keeping them from absolutely destroying his base. The moment that he gets in, I would love to see Llama just like right click on a stable with all his Knights and move the mangonel close to it to zone any ranged units. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him get in and just start looping. That would be great.
Yeah, looping has been a very big word here. Mr. Llama, not the loop daddy according to Yamato, but maybe he knows a few tricks. A nice conversion there. We talked about the monks. Pig killed a knight, converted another one. So he's thinning out this army. Mr. Llama kind of hard-pressed to break through here. He's got that perfect hill to push from, though. One Magna on the field, 3 villagers. Oh, no, he's got that Q forward villager thing going on. He might be fumbling this a little.
Oh, no. It's worse when you get a 1 win versus the favorite, and then you're like, oh, I got to win this next one, and then the nerves start to reverse. We were talking a lot about nerves earlier. But yeah, he really, honestly, he should just take the conversion on the nose and get in, because if he gets in, the opponent is in a really dire
Snipes the monk.
position.
Snipe the monk. I agree. Don't give respect to this defense. It's just one monk. It's a few fire lancers. The knights are going in. There's a dozen knights here. Mr. Llama, he's been in this position before. Pig has to fight with the fire lancers here. Mr. Llama engages. If Mr. Llama wins this fight, he could win the game. This is huge.
Yeah, it looks like a good fight. Monk's going down. Honestly,
wow.
Maybe a little closer than Mr. Llama would like, but oh, beautiful shot there on the crossbow.
Yeah,
That's
huge
nice.
shot on the crossbows. This is fantastic. Mangonel's going in. Pig kiting beautifully to the back, though. Picks up a couple knights. Pig is not making this easy. He's garrisoned the town center. Good defense from Pig. Is it enough for Llama?
So there's a rally point issue going on right now from my eyes, because I think there are 10 knights on the map that are just not here yet. Maybe they're running across, but if those were in that fight, that would have... Yeah, there is a rally point issue. There it is. Oof.
3 knights. That's huge, right?
Yeah, this is, with all-ins, there's this tipping point, and if you don't have, it's that knife's edge where if you just had a couple more units, you can win the game. So, like, that's why when I coach folks in the beginning, I tell them, spam that select all military and just click into your opponent's face when you're in. Yeah, you gotta learn that intuition.
Basic Age of Empires, all army, same place, fight. That's it. That's simple at its core.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so, man, this game has got me on my toes. I think Mr. Llama is still in an incredible position. If he can get all of his army together, he's caused a lot of eco damage to Pig. If he can get all his army together, he can still take fights versus this Fire Lancer monk.
Yeah, like Fire
especially
Lancers,
if he controls his scouts. Yeah.
Fire Lancers counter knights, right? But it's not like it's one-on-one. I think even a knight will win, or it's a very close fight. Yeah, I think the knight wins the one-on-one. Fire Lancer just kind of has strong DPS. With the monks, it gets really difficult. Gotta watch those conversions. Another conversion goes across. 3 knights now. Pig has made 0 knights. He just converted all of them. And Pig, with a very nasty economy, a very messy economy, but still has a good amount of defensive army. Mr. Llama might be pulled into deep waters here himself.
Yeah, honestly, that one rally point issue with those 3 knights sitting at home, I think in this position, Mr. Llama is going to get pushed back. Yeah, so sad to see that. But he had a very real shot of taking Pig out for a second. I'm not saying it's over yet. He could still bring it back, but it's going to require some nice scout control to pick off those monks and avoid the Fire Lancers. Yeah. And this fight, I don't think it's it. I think this is a rough fight.
I think I have to back up and regroup a little bit here. I wouldn't mind a couple minutes with no fighting, heal up the knights, and then kind of rethink our all-in. I like the idea of still going for the all-in, but I want to have it under our terms. I don't like this constant fighting into the monks that we've been doing for the last minute or so for Mr. Llama. I will say, though, a couple words for Pig. Great freaking defense. He had the monks where he needed them. He had the great defense around the town center. He garrisoned the villagers, and he kept his economy working throughout all of that. So Pig showing his class here in this game at the same time as Mr. Llama, showing that he's, here to play.
Yeah, throughout this fight, I was glancing up in the top left and checking Mr. Llama's stone count, because that might be the Frank's easiest, unironically, not a joke, the easiest answer to the Fire Lancers right now. It's either that or teching into something like crossbow or cav archer, but that can take a while sometimes. So sometimes slapping down the castle and playing for those throwing axemen could be good here, I think, because there's not too many ranged units on the field from Pig anymore.
Wow, on that call, we see the stone come in, by the way. This could be for just town centers, but I wouldn't mind that if that's a kind of build up into a castle. I agree with you, by the way. Throwing axemen, especially at like beginner to intermediate, very effective counter to anything anti-knights. And it's easy to use because it's quite tanky. So I like the throwing axeman call out here. Let's see if it comes to be in a second.
So yeah, I really think if he gets into those throwing axemen, then Pig would have to tech switch. This fight looking, honestly, maybe a little mixed. Probably not too good for Mr. Llama.
Called the GG on my screen.
Oh, so sad.
That felt like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, Yeah, it was. He still had a game. I think if he knew that he needed to play the rating victory condition there for a little while, avoid the big ball of units in the center, maybe he would have felt a little more comfortable. But that is kind of a classic, when you're learning age thing, you just see the army take the fight versus the army. Sometimes you got to know when to raid. But
Yeah,
I really respect everything that Mr. Llama prepared and did throughout
yeah.
this set. That was incredible to see.
It's been fantastic, but at the same time, I feel like that this is far from over. Like, if you just consider for the chat, for sake of argument, some people are saying it's too early. What the hell's going on here, Mr. Llama? I just checked. He did call the GG. It's not like a disconnect or anything like that. But yeah, what Foss is saying, you just pull back a little bit here. You can go for the raids. I mean, take a look at how exposed Pig is. You come here, raid. This has the garrison. If you just walk past it, all of a sudden, there's a lot of exposed area. If you go around the right side, it's wide open. You find your way onto this wood line. All of a sudden, it's 20 dead villagers, right? So you don't have to fight into this counter unit. You can just prepare your own counter to his counter. So in this case, throwing Axemen would be perfect. Use your knights to raid, and you still have a game. But it's possible he's just saving his energy, saving his mental. It's also possible that he's tilted, right? The same things we talked about with Pig, about those mentals. Maybe Mr. Llama kind of facing something similar on his end. However, I honestly feel like Mr. Llama thought it was over, and he wanted to just save his energy for the last game. That's the most plausible explanation here, and he just didn't want to kind of force his way into something that he felt wasn't doable. So GG, well played. Pig holds, and it's a 1-1. It's a banger series in our hands.
Llama's going for Spanish, not an infantry civ, but it is a civ that has access to one of the strongest, unique units in the game, the Conquistador. And that can definitely be utilized to do an all-in push.
And just gonna kind of figure out a way to switch these colors. Gonna put Llama in the blue, Pig in the red. I don't think that quite does it for our cameras though, so we're gonna have to like switch the cameras here real quick. Pig's gonna have to go on the other side here. I've had a lot of difficulty with these cameras, but we have managed to find a way to make it work without too much chat interference and chat complaints, which is great. Cameras are set up now. Pig is going to be in the blue here, playing as the Bohemians, and Mr. Llama in the red as the Spanish for this game 3. Listen, it's not an infantry civ, and it's obviously not what you were hoping for from a spectator perspective, but Spanish have some dangerous fast castles in their own right. That's kind of like the OG fast castle civilization with a dangerous unique unit, the Conquistador. One of the best units in the game, no doubt. How do you feel about the Spanish on Arena?
Yeah, the Spanish, Spanish are terrifying whenever you see them. I think Spanish are one of the strongest civs on Arabia. We'd probably disagree on that, but for fast castling on Arabia, they're an S tier, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Especially with the addition recently of that you can pick up those relics with those missionaries.
Yes,
Missionaries were already kind of a crazy unit. And so at at the highest level of play, if you're fighting Spanish, they're very flexible, but we're probably most worried about them picking up 5 relics for kind of for free at the start of the game. I'm curious if Mr. Llama will go for that approach. I think it is probably Spanish's strongest opening on Arena, would be my intuitions. It's kind of like the Armenians kind of do play the exact same way, where they just get all the relics for free. But he could also drop a castle in the face and play with conks. Any of those things would be really
it would be solid.
hard for Pig to stop. Yeah.
Talking about Pig Civ for a little bit here, the Bohemians is something that he's invested a lot of time into. So while Mr. Llama might have just picked up the Spanish maybe a day or two ago, Pig has invested a couple weeks into the Bohemians. He's played them time and time again on the ranked ladder. He's played a lot of arena in his ranked grind as well, and he's quite good with the Bohemians, honestly. Me seeing Pig play the Bohemians on arena made me feel like he's one of the favorites for the event, because I think he's got a deep understanding of a very strong civilization, and the way he likes to play them is he likes to actually go for a defensive castle. Defensive castle opening, couple Hussite wagons, control the relics with the Hussite wagons and monks. That defensive castle, make sure you don't die, and then you just boom behind that with Hoofnies. And Red Foss, obviously at our level in the pro games, let's say, going for a defensive castle is a big investment. However, with the Bohemians, you get both stone mining upgrades for free, and just having that defense, I feel like is really nice for a medieval game like this one. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Just especially if you're a favorite, and especially if you're like Bohemians, where you have that crazy late game. Probably they shouldn't have a late game that looks like that, but
yeah,
that's not the world we live in. Bohemians, for those who don't know, Bohemians have probably one of the strongest late games on closed maps that exist. It's like Halb Hufnitsa, and Spanish probably actually do have some answers to that. They might be able to play like Elite Conk versus that, or just monks plus other units. But honestly, it's a really difficult thing to deal with if you let the Bohemians get there. So I hope Mr. Llama plans to do something before the Bohemians get to that nasty state.
And he is indeed. It's gonna be a tower rush. I had a little choke at some point. I thought, damn, 2-1 stone. I thought he was gonna go for a super fast castle. Like I was like, yo, you don't have enough food. But then I realized, no, he's got a tower rush, and he picked up loom. Can we celebrate a little in the chat? He went for a tower rush, but he's got loom now, so I can rest easy. I don't have to remove years from my life watching a guy tower rush with no loom. These villages are fully upgraded now, of course, more armor, more HP, and he's coming across the map here with what is that, 8 villages with the Spanish tower rush. Is good because you build the towers faster, and it could potentially lead into a nice castle drop, forward conks, and at the very least you're at least disrupting the Bohemian game plan. But listen, Foss, back stone, I feel like this is not that easy to pressure here for Llama.
Yeah, honestly, it's not. I mean, his whole game plan of dropping a defensive castle will now probably get some value. As long as he, cuts his map nicely, which, I'd say would be placing maybe some market blacksmith along those near those houses to kind of wall to the TC. As long as he doesn't allow Mr. Llama to get into the back of his base, I think he'll always be able to castle drop whatever Mr. Llama is planning. I love how many. If Llama has done nothing else, he's committed hard in all of these games.
Yes.
He has, what, 8 villagers, 9 villagers forward? Some people might say that's too many for a tower rush, but
Yeah.
Mr. Llama does not agree with you.
Yeah, Mr. Llama is very committed. What we saw earlier was really weird, by the way. The pig scout came out, but Mr. Llama was fumbling with his tower hotkey, so he didn't hit the scout. He could have easily killed pig scout because he had the feudal age advantage. But let's see what pig can go for here. He's going to go market blacksmith right away. And he's going to try to go towards that fast castle into the castle drop. Heavy on stone already. I do wonder about this economy, though. The economy from pig is not that good. He's missing like 130 food, only 6 on berries. He's got to deal with this tower rush. Dude, he's getting hit at an awkward time right now. And Mr. Llama just doing his thing here.
Yeah. Now, the thing that is great for pig is that the Bohemians are always kind of doing fine because they can always just sell a bunch of stone, buy a little bit of food, and click up if they would like. Obviously, he doesn't. Oh, there's some cells.
Yeah.
He's definitely thinking about that. Yeah, the Bohemian being always able to overload their stone and get that castle up really fast, even against pressure, is one of the main reasons why I love picking them on the. No loom, oh no.
No loom from pig. He's trying to fight with no loom. Luckily for his tournament life, although this is not the losers bracket, he would have another chance, but he backs off. If he committed there with no loom, he would get wiped. He would lose the game on the spot. He actually gets a villager picked off. Mr. Llama smartly analyzes the fact that there's no loom on the opposing side, and he goes up to cast it. It's 1 minute and 40 seconds with no loom on defense. It's been literally the tech of the entire tournament.
I mean, that's the classic at lower elos. Loom is the most important tech in the game, and at higher elos, honestly. But Pig just needs to realize that he doesn't have to do anything here. We're seeing a lot of reactions from Pig. I like that he's thinking of cutting his map, making walls from the wood line towards the town center. That's really good. But other than that, he actually doesn't need to do anything against this. He's going to have an answer to this soon enough with the castle.
Yep.
So I'd love to see him relax a little bit more than he is. And I don't want to see him rush down any towers.
Yeah.
The castle will clean up all of this.
Yeah, Mr. Llama, he's looking like a psychopath. I thought he was going to run through at some point there, but dude, he's already killed 2 villas. He's killed the scout from Pig. Pig has collected more resources so far because, of course, half of Mr. Llama's economy is forward here, 8 villa tower rush. But still, killing 2 villagers and disrupting Pig has been so solid so far. However, Pig, like you said, Foss, gets up to Castle Age, makes a defensive castle, and suddenly Mr. Llama, it's not looking so clear how he can actually defend that.
Yeah, especially, I will say, Pig will have an opportunity when he drops the castle to play it. He can decide to play it however he wants, but you could play it as an all-in from that position where you maybe just get, reclaim your berries, get, 6 on food, and then just pump Hussites, maybe a fast petard, knowing that your opponent's going to be in feudal age longer. If I was playing from his position, that's certainly how I would play, and I'd send those forward, break through. I mean, if you look at Mr. Llama's res right now, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to afford the scouts to push back this unit.
Yeah, we have Loom now for Pig. Thank God. No more disastrous villager losses. That tower from Mr. Llama, I would say almost never works. Like, you'd see 99 times out of 100 towers that come up that won't deny castles. So it's a bit of a waste of a tower there. And better off just running his villagers back home. I've done some coaching with H-Rock specifically, but there's a couple other guys as well. And every time you get tower rushed and you have a castle to defend, I think you should almost always, at this level at least, counterattack with an all-in. Try to get a forward workshop or even just 2 petards plus unique unit. You can break through the walls. I mean, maybe even just 1 petard in Feudal Age. You can break through the wall and you can actually just counterattack your opponent very hard. I like that follow-up from this position a lot.
Yeah. It looks like Pig is not playing that follow-up, which is... I mean, so if we look at the TC idle time, Mr. Llama has idled fair amount to get this tower rush going, which is not ideal. But, I mean, Pig still isn't answering it, so it's getting some value. But I really would love to see Pig start producing out of that castle. You can even, with Bohemians, just buy the wood required for the unique unit. Their gold bonus is so crazy that often makes sense. And he could really go for an all-in here if he felt comfortable, but we're not seeing it yet.
I've always felt like, by the way, just on a side note, I don't want to turn this into a balanced discussion, but I've always felt like the Bohemian bonus to get both economy upgrades of gold and both from stone was a bit too strong. I feel like that deserves a hard nerf of just like 1 upgrade from both and not just, you know, the shaft mining as well from both gold and stone, just free like that. It felt a bit ridiculous how strong their economy is. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. A lot of people maybe don't realize, but the civs that I use are also the civs I have to fight. So, you know, I play a lot of Portuguese, I play a lot of Bohemians, but guess what I do more? I fight Portuguese and Bohemians more. So, you know, I fight a ton of monk wars versus Bohemians in a fast castle versus fast castle off. And that gold mining bonus is a nightmare to try to figure out how to beat. They can get heresy faster than you. They can get more monks out than you. I mean, there's such a flexible bonus. They can just buy food and boom better than you. Like,
yeah, it's crazy. Because you see it even you see in the anti-meta, like 20 vills on gold, all in monk rush. I played a setting in Sebastian the other day, and I just did that against them, and it was just like unstoppable. But you also see it in like the pro boom, like in the meta option of just booming. You put like 8 on gold, you start buying food and wood, you buy stone, and you start going for these crazy booms. You just mine heavy stone and explode with castles in the mid game. It's a crazy bonus that I think went under the radar for many years, but I think it's going to be addressed at some point probably, or just abused for, you know, many months to come.
Yeah, we're both crossing our fingers. Hopefully Bohemians take some hits. It's a very frustrating civ to fight, especially on this map.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Mr. Llama's in trouble. Let's think about what position he could play to get out of this trouble.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, it is Bohemians. This is the crazy thing about fighting Bohemians. A lot of their units beat other unique units, like classically, like Hussite wagons beat conquistadors. So Mr. Llama, I'd maybe some sort of monk play for the center. That would maybe be his strongest unit. Some missionary play. You could also try booming from behind, but that's always a little scary when your opponent's been up in this age for so long. How would you try to play this from Llama's position, Hera?
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like the biggest thing hurting him was not actually the tower rush going wrong. I think it was like what happened after the tower rush. He invested into 2 towers that did nothing. He idled his economy a lot behind it. So our economy is just not that good behind this due to no success of Pig, I feel. Like Pig did a good job holding for sure, but we could have a much better economy here. Now, the fact is we don't really have a great economy. That's okay. We're missing a market as well. Oh, that's a second blacksmith. No, it changes it. Market goes down good. I think the first play is just get the castle as fast as possible. And then afterwards, I think 100% I'd want to see a castle drop and just going for some conquistadors. Not because I consider that to be the best strategy available, just I think it's the easiest to do. Castle drop, conks, reclaim the map, take the 5 relics, and then play from there. Other than that, I feel like it's very hard to really come up with anything that gives gameplay.
You know, in all honesty, I was just thinking about a little. He's extended his feudal age long enough that he could probably try to imp off of this, maybe if he wanted to. Maybe. I mean, he's gonna have to like maybe sell some stuff and click up, but maybe imp into missionaries if he knows about missionaries with full upgrades, or monks with full upgrades could be his, and Trev might be his only play.
Yeah, so what I would play here, like just knowledge gaps aside, I would go 100% fast imp, missionary inquisition. I think that's the only thing that actually gives you a winning strategy at like a pro level from this position. Because I think that strat's quite strong actually. But that's a bit maybe out of Llama's comfort zone / knowledge zone.
Yeah, I mean it is kind of a classic after you extend your feudal age in arena to try an imp strat of some sort. Let's see if Mr. Llama knows it, but yeah, I mean honestly playing towards monks is probably the one place that you actually are better than the Bohemians. If you get, you know, Inquisition. For those who don't know, Inquisition is, you know, a Castle Age tech for the Spanish that gives their monks faster conversion speed, and it gives their missionaries +1 range. So it's a pretty good tech for them. And it actually makes them, you know, kind of the best monk civ. Maybe Teutons beat them, but, you know, for a monk war or, you know, countering things like Hussite wagons, they're just going to destroy with redemption monks and Inquisition.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, there's a big question mark onto what Mr. Llama actually knows about here. The way he's positioning his villagers, I think we're just going to see a classic boom. Just 2 town centers on each side. Yeah, town center here, and just kind of ignoring the threat that's coming from Pig, which is funny because Pig's just been hammering at this wall for about 10 minutes now, and yeah, nothing's really coming out of it. Mr. Llama doesn't really care about it. Imp is so close, but I just don't know if it's going to be on the cards right now. He's going to commit to the boom. Problem is, ladies and gents, Pig is up 10 villagers already. His boom is a lot more developed, fervor for the villagers, and the Bohemian late game for him, super solid. It's looking rough for Llama despite a great set, to be fair.
Yeah, you're always, if you're ever, like we were talking earlier about maybe one of the more important things in Age is to diagnose, you know, where you went wrong in a game. And I'm just kind of looking at res collected right now, and the person who spent more time in feudal usually should have more res collected than the person who went up to Castle Age. Like that's in theory one of the advantages that we get by extending our time in feudal age when they're racing up. So I think that idle TC time really hurt Mr. Llama, and yeah, and made it so that this strategy doesn't have as, you know, as strong of a punch as it really should. Just because he really should be ahead in res collected, and maybe now Pig could catch up with the earlier town centers. But yeah, it would have been nice to see what he was cooking if he got that execution a little better.
Yeah, absolutely. Here, University coming down from Mr. Llama. Let's see what he can do. It's going to act as a nice little wall, but it's also good to get that University. So kind of walling with a creative building that's quite useful. I don't think the Hussite wagons can range. No, they can. It's 6 range, of course. You definitely do range that. But that's fun. Got a lot of HP on that University anyways. 15 villager lead from Pig. And the towers, as you can see, just not doing a whole lot right now. The tower rush has been pretty much dealt with. A couple mangonels being prepared. I wonder what he's going for there. And Pig is also picking up economy upgrades and the remaining 2 relics on the map. So he is feeling great right now.
Yeah, I think Pig is definitely going to be an imp faster than Mr. Llama. He's got a lot more farmers. He's got 34, you know, on food, and he can always have that option to buy up quickly. And then in the late game, yeah, unless Spanish are on monks, pretty much all their power plays are kind of turned off. Maybe Elite Conch could do something if they don't have too many Hussite wagons on the field. But even there, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, do Bohemians have full upgrade skirms?
Yeah, full upgrade skirms. No thumb ring, but that's not really an upgrade that's really concerning skirmishes too much. So, you know, full upgrade skirm, Halb, of course, great unit. They have all the tools to deal with what Spanish usually go for. You're definitely right in saying that. Unfortunately here for Mr. Llama, of course, it's horrible to be in this position, but it's also really bad knowing your opponent is a very experienced Bohemians player in Pig. It's really hard to come up with options. We're going to go for the castle here, which is okay. Gonna survive a little bit with that one. We got a decent boom. The position is not terrible if you don't consider just where your opponent is at in comparison. I think your opponent is way further ahead.
Yeah, I wish I could, you know, whisper in Llama's ear that like monks or probably missionaries are his only salvation here.
Yeah.
Because those units are absolutely crazy. I don't know how much you've been plagued by them, but
I think they're
I've
broken.
been playing against. I've been playing against survivalists recently, and we played like, I don't know, like 5 sets where I had to deal with the missionaries. I won some of them, but like he was in terrible positions, and just like I have no unit that can beat that unit. Like
Yeah.
you know, I'm playing whatever, Spanish or whatever, and or like Bohemians or whatever, and it just with Inquisition it just converts me faster. There's nothing that beats that unit.
It's not just that, it's the Inquisition, but you also have a very tanky missionary with extra armor that moves faster than your slow siege, can outmove your monks, can even outmove your crossbows or skirmishers. So yeah, missionaries are absolutely broken. I think they're a unit that can heavily get nerfed and it's going to be fine. I would like to see them add a food cost to it. I think that would be very cool. Like you have to feed the donkey to make the missionary, which makes a lot of sense. So I think adding a food cost to it would make the unit a lot more balanced. Something like a 20 food cost on top of the 100 gold. So it's a stronger unit than the monk overall, but it costs you a little bit more. I think that's very fair.
Yeah, I remember I have a strong memory of a game where I was playing Ram Infantry versus straight Missionary. In theory, Ram Infantry should be pretty strong against that. And it wasn't even close. I just ended up tossing. I mean, that's the most brutal thing about fighting monks is when you're fighting monks, for those of you who don't know, they convert your units and then get them as their own. So I went into the fight with like 20 longswords in Rams, and Survivalists had like 20 missionaries, and he came out of the fight with 10 missionaries and 15 longswords or whatever. So his army increased and mine went down. But yeah, they're about to be an imp. Did Pig pick up chemistry on the way up? Did he remember that bonus? It's kind of a tricky bonus to remember sometimes.
Yeah, he got it. He's making bomber cannons right away. And I was going to say, I think he got it because he always gets it. I've been watching some of his games. He's actually opening straight gunpowder, by the way. A hand cannoneer bomber cannon. And just for those who might not know, so like the typical Bohemian combo is always based around their bombard cannon. So they have a few combos that they can go for, but it almost always includes bombard cannon at the center. And that's because they have a unique tech associated to it called Hufnitze that makes them a lot stronger and basically makes them tankier. It makes them have more splash damage, more damage. It just makes it a much better bombard cannon, which is already a great unit. And then you want to support that bombard cannon with some other units. So hand cannoneer, a great backline DPS. It moves faster once this tech comes in, the Wagenberg tactics. And then, of course, typically you have halberdier that usually joins the fight as a frontline. So I would say Halb, hand cannoneer, Hufnis is usually what you see as the main composition for the Bohemians. Having some Hussite wagons, definitely viable. Having some monks, definitely viable. And then even in some cases, even mixing in some skirms or maybe light cav if you're low on gold could be interesting as well.
Yeah, and Mr. Llama over here kind of going for, I don't know if you call it an AI army yet, but he's going for 3 different units. Well, the conks, he's going for the cav archers, and I guess maybe his main comp is just going to be cav archer spear now.
Yeah.
That really isn't going to do well versus the, it might do okay versus the hand cannoneers. The spears won't really contribute there, but it really won't do well when he gets onto those hoofneats. That's when that comp is really going to taper off for Mr. Llama.
Yeah, I don't like the pikemen at all here. I actually like the cav archer. It's probably one of the main units that can actually do something here, although conk should be better. But the pikeman just does nothing. He is an imp, so we could see some imp techs come in. But take a look at just the advantage that Pig has. Siege engineers coming in. He's going to get the pikeman upgrade. For him, it makes sense to go Halb as a front line for the bombards. But Mr. Llama going Halb or pikeman doesn't do anything. There's not a single cavalry unit on this side. So while it's been a good set for Mr. Llama, Pig is showing us why he's the favorite. And he's got the Bohemians just kind of cooking here. Great army. 5 relics behind it. A great boom behind it. It's tough for Llama. I think he might just be completely dead, especially when he's going for the halberds.
Yeah, he's adding more halbs. He's spamming that halb button. No. And there's the upgrade too. Not sure that's necessary. Maybe a bit of a misread here. But yeah, he's gonna try to take this fight. Don't think he's ready for this.
Yeah, this is a massacre. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a massacre. I think this is showing the raw skill for skill. It's very heavy in favor of Pig. This is completely acceptable because Mr. Llama's been playing this game for 2 weeks and he's completely off practice right now with the Spanish. This is not something he's really prepared for many, many weeks. Maybe invested a day into it in practice and nothing more. He's done a great job with it, but right now it's completely outclassed by the Bohemians from Pig. There we go. The Hufnitze upgrade is coming in. And there's just no stopping this army. Even in pro games, the Spanish would have nothing besides missionary monks that we were talking about earlier with Foss. But besides that, there's really nothing that counters this. And wait, there's a bit of a wall-off situation going on here. Row of houses. This army's trapped. Kind of.
Oh, yeah. Pig's been planning this for 10 houses. He's been planning this.
Yeah. And there's the GG.
Boy.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was a crazy set. Let's get a GG in the chat. Listen, Mr. Llama, he goes down 2-1. Great performance from Pig. Great job kind of recouping the mentals or recouping the situation and kind of finishing it off. Remembering why he's the favorite and playing some good Age of Empires too. But at the same time, some respect to Mr. Llama in the chat because he came out here with a fantastic strategy in the Rams and Karambits. And he took Pig to deep waters in that first game. He was able to just completely steamroll him. And yeah, it looked like for a certain point there in that game too that Mr. Llama could sweep the set as well. So Mr. Llama overperformed if you ask me. And he showed that he's capable of a lot of cool things with preparation. And Pig goes on to the winner bracket semifinals. Very nice play from him.
Yeah, props to Mr. Llama. That was really good play. I think Mr. Llama, he doesn't know it yet, but he's an all-in player. I can tell by his vibes on the game 1 and game 2. I need to get in his ear. I need to.
You've diagnosed him an all-in player. Dr. Foss in the house. Yeah, dude, Foss, thanks for joining me, man. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a fun cast. I really was happy with what Llama showed us there.
Yeah, super, super cool. I loved your insight, by the way. I had a really good time casting with you. I think the chat really loved your presence as well. Anything you want to say to the chat before we let you go and move on to the next set here?
No, just if you're playing Age, try some all-ins. They're really fun. I'm always going to be shilling for all-in strategies. I think they're amazing. I think they add a lot, and I think they're a blast to try. So don't just watch them, try them too. You could even try that. You could try Fortress's, Fortress. You could try what Mr. Llama did. That was a sick strategy.
Yeah, super cool.